Good morning, Baltimore. Good morning, America. I didn't ever get a trial, and I'm still waiting for justice. Being black in America 2024. Mayor Brandon Scott, Governor Westmore, President Biden, Kamala Harris, President Trump. I ain't never get a trial. I exhausted my remedies under the law. City, county, state, and federal levels. Man, ain't nothing fun when the rabbit got the gun. Making a movie ain't against the law. Y'all repealed Roe versus Wade. You ain't never said nothing about Dred Scott. Senator Antonio Hayes. Senator Antonio Hayes has had my book, Dred Scott, since 2015. He done had that book for a while. Our black leadership is failing our black community. And all y'all want to do is lock us up. All right, this is parole and probation. I went home on vacation. I came back on probation. All right, I'm at parole and probation right now at your front door. That's Mayor Brandon Scott. Ex-felons got a right to vote. Governor Hogan vetoed that, but we overrode the veto. Expand the ballot, expand the vote. Expand the ballot, expand the vote. Do you have a felony? Are you on probation or parole? Are you in pretrial detention? You have a right to vote. You can register to vote during early voting. If you go to Out for Justice, ask Trina for my paperwork. I filed my paperwork on January the 2nd, 2008. That's how long I've been doing this. January the 2nd, 2008. That's the NAACP. Kobe Little, Joshua Harris, Tessa. The NAACP been shielding this since I started this, since 2007. Benjamin Jealous. I got you all on film when I did it. Social media for social change. I don't need 1 million people to march. I need 1 million people to pay attention. What direction are you leading us in? That's the ACLU. I contacted the ACLU back in 1986 about the war on drugs, to end the war on drugs, to address the violence. That's Citizens Policing Project. I support them. That's helping oppressed people excel. I support them. The Baltimore Dissent Decree, we had a meeting last night. The Department of Justice, Erek Barron. The Department of Justice, Eric Holder. The Department of Justice, Loretta Lynn. Sarah Marquette destroyed evidence. Sarah Marquette destroyed evidence. In 2014, I gave Sarah Marquette the book, Can of Whoop Ass. It had GOP Carter on it. It had Anthony Brown on it. It had the Maryland Black Delegation on it, in it. And I still got the book. Sarah Marquette destroyed that. She worked with the Department of Justice. Rod Rosenstein started with Rod Rosenstein. Commissioner Harris, Commissioner Belfield, Commissioner Batts, Commissioner Davis, Commissioner Ed Norris. Yeah, all of y'all. Like I said, I came here on probation in 2000. I came here on parole in 1991. So you're going to have to get my paperwork from 1991 to now. In 1997, I opened up Shorty's Barbecue. All right, 1997. And we talking about the new face of old Jim Crow. Right here. That's Maryland's prison industry. I documented it with Starbucks. All right? From 1997 to now. I ain't the cat in the hat. I took your signs and I made them mine. In 2011, I took Shellenberger's sign and I put it with Gov.O'Malley's sign. You feel me? We talking about mass incarceration. Mass incarceration. That's what we talking about. That's your black reality. All right, Professor Hannah. I'm an educated individual. Dr. Ray Winbush. Dr. K. The Carson Institute at Loyola University. Racism don't work without black cooperation. We got the haves versus the have-nots. Martin Luther King told you all about that in letters from Birmingham jail. The haves versus the have-nots. Y'all the reason that this is going on. Because y'all ain't standing up for us the way that Martin stood up for us in the 60s. Y'all got y'all's piece of the pie and y'all just letting them do what they do to us. Dr. K, WEEA Radio, Mark Steiner, Anthony McCarthy. The haves versus the have-nots. 2024, we ain't having it no more. When I see you, I'm going to treat you. Same way that they treated me. Within the penitentiaries, blacks has created an extension of the ghetto. That's a can of whoop ass, and that's a movie. That's one of the movies. Like Dred Scott, like Frederick Douglass, like Harriet Tubman, I'm fighting for my freedom. Racism don't work without black cooperation. Y'all paid T.J. Smith a lot of money and still paying T.J. Smith. That's Senator Smith. Smith and Smith. I never got a trial. My property was stolen. So I put it in a book. Mass incarceration in Maryland. That's the toilet bomber. And right here, arts and promotion, Dwayne Shorty Davis. I'm an artist and I'm an activist. I'm a member of Out for Justice, and it ain't gonna be just us. That's Governor Larry Hogan. He made $4 billion off the prison industry. And that's Fox 45. Sinclair Broadcasting, Armstrong Williams. Y'all supporting this shit? Well, we got a lot of shit to show you. That's Scott Shellenberger. Like I said, Public Accommodations Act. We got a right to access the courts. You go directly to Chief Justice Roberts of the Supreme Court, he got all my paperwork. Chief Justice Roberts got it. Chief Justice Roberts, Justice Mary Barbera, Judge Carrion, Judge Cox, Judge Boris, Judge Bridges, Judge got what? Man, it's about the judges and the corruption in the courts. You got checks and balances. No part of the government is stronger than the other. But you're using this government as a criminal enterprise. They call it the RICO Act. Yeah. When one or two people conspire to deny or enrich themselves, that's the RICO Act. So we're going to use the RICO Act. That's Jared Dementes from the Board of Elections. That's from the Board of Elections. I'm a free black man. You feel me? Y'all ain't tough on crime. Y'all tough on us. And that's Erek Barron from the Department of Justice. That's the Department of Justice. And I'm with Out for Justice. And it ain't going to be just us no more. Activism ain't terrorism. I'm an activist. Ask Kelly Davis. Ask Keith Davis. Ask Tyrone West. Ask anybody that's anybody in Baltimore. Activism ain't terrorism. But I'm going to terrorize you with the truth. Open for business. And I'm getting ready to open you up. Man, Brandon Scott, we share a date, 12/26, 12/26. That's my 65th birthday this year. I'll be turning 65. Your son be turning 1. I got 64 years on this earth. You feel me? Block party gets bigger and better. That's me. I'm an honorably discharged veteran of the United States Navy. See that? 1979. We talking about Iran-Contra, the drugs that you put in our black communities. Man, Brandon Scott, you live up in Park Heights. Got plenty of drugs up there. You know what I'm saying? You've been knowing me since you were Councilman Scott. Silence is consent. That's Raleigh Hayes from the NAACP Legal Defense Fund. That's Joshua Harris from the NAACP. That's the best of the best in Baltimore. That's me. You feel me? I'm an activist. Racism don't work without black cooperation, but it ain't gonna end without white participation. And I got my white people standing in my corner. That's why I ain't dead, and that's why I ain't locked up. See who that is? That's Jared Jimenez, Board of Elections. That's Senator Kelly. See the date? 2/7/2008, to whom it may concern. That's Senator Kelly. That's Nick Mosby. That's Bill Ferguson. That's Johnny Oleski. That's Governor O'Malley and me. That's leaders of a beautiful struggle. So what direction are you leading us in? Leaders of a beautiful struggle. You on here too. That's the Civilian Review Board. Excessive force, abusive language, harassment, false imprisonment, false arrest. You did all of that. And none of y'all opened your mouth. Kaylin got my paperwork, and Kaylin been standing in my corner. This is the Department of Justice. A whistleblower's application in 2014. That's Chuck Grassley. That's Brooke Learman. And that's the Job Opportunity Task Force. You see that? Y'all took a lot of money from me because I was making a lot of money catering around here. Federal. Alright? I need a federal and state audit. That's the comptroller. That's the comptroller. That's Nick Mosby. And that's Commissioner Harris. All right, everything Commissioner Harris got, he got to turn over. That's Scott Shellenberger sign. And that's Scott Shellenberger sign. Then and now. You feel me? Activism ain't terrorism. But I'm going to terrorize you with the truth. Maryland's prison industry. The money you make off of black bodies. The state of Maryland. You feel me? The state of Maryland and the state of Illinois. Governor Westmore has a flag. All the legal mail that Governor Westmore got, he got to turn over. We Maryland strong. Remember that. We Maryland strong. Mike Jack! It's Friday. Are you ready for this?